All right, the Pittsburgh Steelers just got a big victory. We haven't been doing a ton of Steelers videos lately, but if you want more Steelers content, just make sure you hit that like button, maybe hit a subscribe button. If you don't know what we do on this channel, we are Lions fans who love NFL football, so we love talking NFL football, and we do a ton of content for a lot of teams that don't play in large markets. And I understand Pittsburgh's in kind of this weird thing because it's not a large market, but yet it's a really popular team in the NFL. Tons of fans around the country, Steelers fans everywhere. In fact, before I get into the video, funny story. I was a Detroit Lions season ticket holder the year after they went 0-16. And the Pittsburgh Steelers game, when they came into Ford Field in Detroit, they outnumbered us 40,000 to 25,000, I would say, fans. It was unbelievable to watch a team travel like that, and that is what the Steelers are known for. Then they had a lot of fans at this Commanders game, but this was a huge victory. Washington had proven that they were for real. They were a good team, and in this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why this victory was even better than you thought. And the first of those reasons is that you now have a guy in George Pickens that has been unlocked. All it took was one little quarterback change. Russell Wilson came in. You can see it here, Steelers Depot. Russell Wilson says George Pickens is a warrior and shows up in big moments. Young star that they really believe in. And this is a young star you absolutely should believe in. George Pickens was a baller today. He was a baller on 7 targets, most of them contested. He found a way. He found a way to catch 5 balls for 91 yards and a touchdown. He had somehow kept 2 feet in on a long, deep ball in the fourth quarter on a 34-yard play that kept you in the game. In the elements. I'll explain the elements later. That's why this one was even better than you originally thought. But he has shown up now. That touchdown catch was an amazing catch. Great body control. He is now showing that he is the elite receiver that is needed to make this offense consistent and make this offense run. The running game is fine, but this offense really could use a boost in the passing game, and he absolutely became that boost. All right, he was. But he was unlocked for a very specific reason. And that is because, again, and I've said this before, Mike Tomlin was right. I did a video on this as well. Look, he was right twice. He was right in having Justin Fields start the season. Now, there's no opportunity because Russell Wilson hurt his calf. But in some ways, it made this team even better. Because what they are able to do now is we're all able to see how good Fields was, and now Wilson's even better. So you're not going to have fans that are questioning what is Russell Wilson or what is Fields as he's sitting on the bench, and Russell Wilson goes through a game like this where he was awesome but also struggled a little bit. He was 14 of 28. He was under some major duress. He took 3 sacks, and he had an interception. But he also had 3 touchdowns that were phenomenal throws. 2 of them were unbelievable throws. And he was able to keep this team ahead of it and throw balls that you shouldn't be able to throw. All right, so Russell Wilson ended up, this is why Tomlin was right. Everybody's like, what are you talking about? We're doing good. The Steelers are playing well. Why would you make a quarterback change? Rely on the defense, have a decent offense. Well, some days your defense gives up 27 points. And that's what just happened against the Washington Commanders. That's a good football team. We do a ton of Washington Commanders content on this channel because that's a good football team. They are fun to watch, and they are for real. And they were 4-0 at home going into this. They were 4-0 at home. They had not lost. And you found a way to make Jaden Daniels look like a normal human being. Not many teams have been able to do that. Great defenses have played him. The Bears, everybody. He looked good no matter what. He was 17 of 34 in this game for 200 yards. No touchdowns. They ran them all in, and you sacked him 3 times. Tomlin was right. Fields is good. Russell Wilson is even better for you. All right. The next one. All right. This one is one of my favorites. Mike Williams. Super tiny route tree. right? Super tiny route tree. He had a very limited thing, and you knew one of those routes was going to be a go ball. And Russell Wilson did what he does best. He throws that moon ball up there. The nose of the football comes down perfectly for Mike Williams, who gets the long touchdown. A lot of people were saying that the Mike Williams bringing him over doesn't really move the needle. All right? Well, one touchdown on one throw to go up by one. That moves the needle. Sometimes all you need to move the needle is one. And that is exactly what he did. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be amazing from here on out, but he at least is someone you have to respect going deep so that George Pickens can have even more room to operate. So it absolutely did move the needle. Even if it was just for this game, it's a win that you probably wouldn't have had if anybody else is running that go route. I don't think that's a catch if that's anybody else. Van Jefferson, nope. All right. And Calvin Austin was out of the game, so you needed him there. All right. What's another reason this is even better than you thought? It was on the road. It was on the road. On the road, where the Commanders, like I said, were 4-0. You are now 4-1 away from home. You're 3-1 at home, but you're 4-1 away from home. So there's some good home cooking coming up, and that's absolutely needed. All right. Another reason this was better than you thought. The defense didn't win this game for you. The Pittsburgh Steelers came into this week with the 4th-rated defense according to PFF and the 2nd most points allowed in the NFL. The 2nd most points allowed in the NFL. The offense has scored the 12th most points. You have a good offense. Like, it's not like a barn-burning offense, but it's not a bad offense either. But you've only allowed 146 points going into this game. Well, guess what? In this game, you allowed more points, 27, but the offense was there. And that's why you make a switch to a guy like Russell Wilson. That's why you trust what's happening, because the defense can't win every game for you. This game proves that they can win by defense and they can win by offense. So what that tells me more than anything else, if I'm being completely honest with this, is that now the Steelers are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. This isn't just a defensive team. This is a team that can win in a multiple of ways. They can win through the air. They can win on the ground. They can win defensively. It's really, really impressive. And then I think another reason that I'm just uber impressed with this one is that weather was coming in. You heard the rain was coming in. The wind was picking up. You had to throw the ball because you were behind, and they did what they had to do. And then all of a sudden, you're in an advantageous spot because now the Commanders have it, and they need to throw the ball in order to win, and they couldn't do it. All right? This is just really, really impressive when you get the quarterback spot right. And here's what I'm going to go ahead, and here's what I'm going to say. And then I'm going to talk about what the Steelers are looking at down the line. All right, everybody talking about Mike Tomlin and how he hasn't won not a Super Bowl, how he hasn't won a playoff game in a long time, and there's a bunch of mediocre teams. No matter what happens, we'll go 10-7, 9-8, and we'll make the playoffs, but we won't have a losing season, but we won't win a playoff game. That's impossibly hard to do. I think what we're finding out this year with the Steelers, what we're starting to find out this year is that maybe he just didn't have a quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger was getting tired the last few years, right? That arm was going down less and less and less. Kenny Pickett, are you kidding me? Like, to win games with that is really, really impressive. And now that they have what is not, I mean, Russell Wilson did not look good in Denver. It's kind of been a resurgence for him here, but an old version of Russell Wilson, and they're still getting it done. That's really impressive. And they need to, because their schedule down the line is not super easy. All right, coming off this one, they get some home cooking, but it's against the Baltimore Ravens. Always phenomenal games. Always phenomenal games. Look at the price of that ticket compared to the rest of the games. It's huge. All right, then they get to go to Cleveland. All right, good. Get a W there. They go to Cincinnati. We'll see where they're at. And then they are home against Cleveland. Cleveland always plays you tough. I get it. All right, it's the whole rivalry thing. All right, but you need these games because then to end the year, you've got Philly at Baltimore, at Philly, at Baltimore, home cooking against Kansas City, and then home cooking against Cincinnati. These are big time games down the stretch that are not easy. They're just not. All right. There's a ton of divisional games. There's a ton of games against really good football teams. So you need to watch yourself. But that is why this one is even better, because it puts you even more so in the driver's seat. You needed it. You needed it. And so when you get that done, what you get to see now is exactly what puts you there. So I'm going to go one more time here, and I'm going to look at the standings right here. All right, 7-2. You have 2 games against the Ravens, so that's decided. You just need to stay ahead. You need to stay ahead. And right now, with the playoff picture, what that's looking like, all right, you'd be the 3 seed if it started today, but you need to stay ahead of like Broncos, Chargers, Ravens, just in case the Ravens pop past you. All right, hey, thank you so much for watching this. Really hope you like it. If you want more Steelers content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment on what your favorite part of this game was, and we'll get more popping out to you. Thanks. See you.